hosted by Bill Lofton, Gary Glenn, William Howington, and John Coleman.
Well, welcome to Intelligent Ramblings' edition of Intelligent College Football. And I'm Bill Lofton. I'm your host, and along with my other host, Mr. Gary Glenn, Mr. John Cone, and William Howington. Well, didn't we have just a joyous weekend last weekend? We talk about the games that happened last week. We got to start with the Georgia Bulldogs playing those Longhorns from Texas. And we put an ass whooping on them the second half, pretty much.
So did. It was a good game for about 3 quarters, and then Georgia, Kirby did the fourth down going for it on fourth, and then the onside kick. You know what? And it reflects on me that when that works, you're a genius, and when it doesn't work, you're an idiot.
Yeah, an idiot. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, you got to give Kirby credit. Number one, it was surgical. It was perfect. I mean, he kicked it exactly where he wanted it to go, and the one that caught it, Cash, was he hit it perfect. I mean, it was just perfection.
Good hands.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And
that woke him up. It was a different game from then on.
Then on, it was over. It was over.
Yeah.
We just scored again.
Yeah.
And it was time to run score up.
That was very satisfying to watch.
Yes, it was.
I heard somewhere that they practiced that onside kick. Cash has practiced that over the years 250 times. They repped that play in practice. So they stood a good chance of making it.
Yeah. You practice enough, it's with anything. If you practice enough, you're gonna. I mean, say practice and think about the pro golfers that you see out there playing these 3-day tournaments. Out of the other 4 days of the week, they're probably practicing 3 of them. I mean, that's their life. That's what they do.
Yeah, well, and years ago, I was interviewing Kevin Butler, and he was talking about place kicking. And when he described the motions of place kicking, I said, "Sound like you're talking about a golf swing." And he said, "You'd be surprised at how similar golf and place kicking is." So you got to know when to boot it and when to touch it. Like got to know when to use the irons and when to use the wedge. Stuff like that. So, yeah, that was a pretty good butt whooping right there. I think I missed it on that they wasn't going to cover the spread, but it still was satisfying.
Well, another fairly remarkable, in a weird way, game was Texas A&M barely got past South Carolina, 31-30.
Oh.
I mean, and we're behind 30-3 at halftime. Is that right?
I think it's a school record for a comeback. They've never come from that far down.
That's pretty amazing. 27 points and a half. And do it against South Carolina's got a pretty damn good defense. They must have just fallen completely apart.
Oh yeah, no, boy! Don't you know the Boo Birds and the coaching sniping's out now, baby?
Well, I heard Shane Beamer was going to LSU, but then I looked again at it today, and it was like, no, he's not. So the rumors of the coaches who's going where have already started.
What a soap opera. Oh, my goodness.
It's ridiculous. You can't believe anything you read on. I mean, I was firmly convinced last night that Shane Beamer was going to LSU, and today I saw it, and he was like, no. Just signed a multi-million-dollar contract extension. So, who knows? Well, maybe it is. It's a double negative. How about that one that everybody predicted wrong, except me? Alabama, Oklahoma. I
What
knew
about-
Oklahoma. I
I
knew
give you
Oklahoma.
credit for that one. I give you credit for that one, man. That was a good get for you, and
Yeah,
it
you
wasn't really close.
No, Oklahoma jumped all over. That was it was a very good game, very interested. Another one that we all missed, I think, except William, was Clemson Louisville, 20-19. The Tigers came through. I don't know what their damn deal is. I've lost on them all season, and then
Yeah.
one time I picked somebody other than Clemson, they win.
Yep. It's a mystery.
And then we had another one that was close, which shouldn't have been, according to any of the prognosticators, and that was Georgia Tech, Boston College. Tech won by 2 points, 36-34. Boston College is just slap crap. I mean, they're terrible. And Georgia Tech is 16 in the country, should be higher, I believe. And they barely squeaked by Boston College. So any given day, that quotation definitely had something to do with that.
Yeah, in fact, Tech was 16.5 point. Tech was 16.5 point favorite.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, I mean, Boston College came into that game at 0-6 in the ACC, and they'd only won one game overall.
Yeah, they're
So
terrible.
that's a mystery. That is an absolute mystery there.
Let's see. Another one I was thinking about was South Florida was ranked 24th in the country, playing Navy, who's 8-2 on their own right, and I think should be able to ranked at least 25th or 23rd or something like that. But Navy beat South Florida 41-33, I think, 31, something like that.
38, 41-38.
41-38, close game. But Navy came out and did it to it.
Well, here's the key to that one, I think. Navy can run, and they had 338 yards of rushing
Wow.
in that game. They love to run. They're right up there with Tech. If they can hand the ball off to somebody, they will.
I like those offenses. You don't see much of them, and the thing about it is the reason you don't see much of them, and then it's really hard to cover. That's the problem. It's like when they had the wishbone years ago. When I think it was Oklahoma ran it, Texas ran it. You didn't see it very often, but it was damn near hard, impossible. Even the veer offense that we ran in high school, you didn't know who the hell was going to get the ball.
No, and if you run it right, you can run the veer out of the wishbone.
And you have 3 or 4 different options with this RPO offenses I got now. It's either the quarterback throws it, runs it, or hands it off. But usually it's just he's got 2 choices: either throw it or run it. And after you fake the handoff, but
Well, out of the split backfield or the wishbone, you got the dive, the quarterback keeper, or the pitch, and the fourth option off the triple option is pass.
Yeah.
So if you run it right and you've got the personnel to run it, it's hard to stop. It's assignment football. And if you get caught with your britches down, you get scored on. It's just hard to find people who can really read the defense. It's hard to find a quarterback who can really read the defense and know what to do and not just predetermine. If you predetermine it, it's just a play. It's not an option.
But that's why we won when I was in high school, is we had a quarterback, Freddie Talbert, that could do that. Freddie was amazing at it. And
your brother was pretty good at it. So was Clark Rainwater when we were running it.
Excuse me tonight. I'm gonna be coughing a lot. I got a chest cold. And I was up all night coughing with shit.
Been there.
I mean, getting on it. I'm eating cough drops and all that stuff. So hopefully it'll be gone by next week. Well,
Drink some whiskey and honey.
whiskey and honey. That's what I'm going to have as soon as I get out of here. A lot of whiskey and a little honey.
There you go.
All right. Well,
I'm with you. All right, let's go. Let's pick a few this week. What say?
all right. We got to take a quick commercial, and then we'll come back to picking.
Intelligent Ramblings is brought to you in part by Pat Williamson. Intelligent Ramblings is brought to you in part by Pat Williamson, a proud Dragon alumnus and a strong supporter of Jefferson athletics and academics.
Welcome to the picks at Intelligent College Football. Y'all ready to do some picking?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. Number 17, University of Southern California at number 8, Oregon.
All right, now we've got a few interesting games this week, and this is one of them. USC has really shown some things this year. They're 8-2 overall. They're 6-1 in the league, where Oregon is 9-1 overall. They're also 6-1. Dan Lanning coaching the Ducks and Lincoln Riley the Trojans of USC. Oregon is a complete team. They really are. The Trojans are explosive, but they're inconsistent. Oregon's got a strong running game. They got a stout defense, but the USC quarterback and receivers can help set the pace there. They are a little bit elite at times, but problem is, can Oregon control the clock? If the Ducks control the clock, with game management is absolutely crucial in this one, because Oregon's got a really good running game. Oregon's almost 234 yards rushing per game, not total, 234 yards rushing per game. And the pass defense may limit the USC quarterback, the explosiveness that they've shown. Plus the turnover margin, Oregon generally wins that battle. And they're good on third down. The Ducks are good on third down. The questions, the depth of the receivers and the red zone defense. The red zone defense of Oregon has struggled at times. USC, the quarterback is Jaden Maeva. His receiver is Makai Lemon, and that's an elite bunch right there. They are terrible, though, in the red zone. Well, take that back. They're good in the red zone. I read my stats wrong. I think they got like a 94% efficiency. Problem is getting them there. The defense against the run, you see, their defense against the run, the Ducks, is 126th in the country. They give up 34 points in losses to Illinois and Notre Dame. That's an average of 34 points per game. They give up points in key moments, too, which hurts them. But they turn it over more than Oregon, too. So I think it's going to be a good game. And I think if Oregon controls the clock and limits the USC explosiveness, I think they win. I think USC is going to make enough big plays, though, to where Oregon will not cover the spread. That's my prediction for this one.
I can't remember what I said about the spread. I picked Oregon, but I don't remember what I said.
William, you said that Oregon would cover the spread. You picked
All right.
Oregon to win and cover the spread.
Oh, I'll stick with that then.
I've got Oregon to win, but not cover the spread, like Gary was telling us.
Yeah, if USC ever gets inside your 20, they're tough.
Ugh.
But the problem is them getting there.
Syracuse at number 9, Notre Dame.
Who did you pick, Bill, in Oregon?
Oregon to cover.
All right. Syracuse at number 9, Notre Dame. 3:30 p.m. on NBC. I can't see the stats on the TV there. 35.5 point Notre Dame spread. Syracuse record is 3-7 and 1-6 in the conference. They have a 24.8% chance of winning, according to analytics. They're coached by Fran Brown Jr., 43 years old in his second year. In his first season, he led Syracuse to a 10-win season. Syracuse is led by Steve Angel at quarterback with 98 completions and 1,317 yards, so they can move the football by the air. Rushing, Yassine Willis has 129 carries, 558 yards. And receiving, John Trey Cook, 41 receptions for 518 yards. Notre Dame is led by Coach Marcus Freeman, who's 39 years old and has a 41-12 record. He lost the first 2 games of the year to Miami and Texas A&M, who were 2 good football teams, then reeled off 8 straight wins, led by quarterback C.J. Carr, 173 completions, 2,487 yards. Rushing, Love has 177 carries for 1,135 yards. Receiving, Malachi Fields, 32 receptions for 598 yards, and Jordan Paulson, 44 receptions for 551 yards. Notre Dame will win, but will not cover the 35.5-point spread.
I can agree with that. I'll go with Notre Dame and not to cover.
I think they will cover it. So I'm picking the Irish, and I think they will cover it. Again, they're trying to show that they're a dominant football team. And even when you put their backups in, the backups are pretty good.
I've got Notre Dame to win and cover. Can y'all tell me, I've been looking for this, is Steve Angeli the Syracuse quarterback, is he back from his injury or not? Do we know that?
I don't.
Here's why I'm asking. If he's back and playing well, he could make the difference between Notre Dame winning and covering the spread or Notre Dame barely winning. He is a good quarterback if he's healthy. And like I said, I just do not know, quite frankly, if he's back from his injury yet or not.
I don't know either.
I don't either.
Game.
Notre Dame quarterback Riley Leonard. No, that's Riley Leonard. That's last year.
I'm looking for the
C.J.
Syracuse
Carr's
quarterback.
my Notre Dame quarterback.
Is it the Notre Dame or the Syracuse quarterback you're looking for?
Syracuse.
Syracuse.
Yeah, that'll make a difference.
Yeah, he's out for the season.
Yeah, Angeli's out for the season. Torn Achilles tendon.
So Notre Dame covers.
Yeah,
Yeah, no doubt.
bad break for the Orange Men of Syracuse.
Yeah. Arkansas at number 10, Texas.
All right. So, Arkansas at number 10, Texas. This is on 3:30 p.m. on ABC. ESPN Analytics gives Texas an 83% chance of winning. Our coaches are Arkansas Bobby Petrino and Texas Steve Sarkisian. Texas is ranked 12th in the Football Power Index. Arkansas is down at 41. Arkansas is 2-8 overall this season and 0-6 in the SEC. They're in last place in the conference. Texas is 7-3 overall and 4-2 in SEC play. One of those two losses came, to the Georgia Bulldogs last Saturday.
Woof, woof.
Here's the thing about Arkansas. They do not let teams run up the score on them, with a couple of exceptions. But this season, They don't win much, but you can't run away from them. For example, they lost to Ole Miss by 1 touchdown. They lost to Memphis by 1 point. They lost to Tennessee by 2 points. They lost to Texas A&M by 3 points. They lost to Mississippi State by 3 points, and they lost to LSU by 1 point. So they've been so close all year.
That's amazing.
And it could, there are places in those games where you're watching thinking, dang, they're going to hold this lead and win the game. Or, they're so close to coming back and they fall short. And they could easily not be in last place in the conference. Here's another thing about Arkansas. If I was a head coach looking to build my career, which I'm not, obviously, Arkansas would be a great place to make it happen. I think it's overlooked for some reason. I don't know what that is, but it's got tradition and resources, things that make you go, Texas, I have Texas to win, but not cover, given Arkansas's penchant for losing very close games. And so that's my pick.
You make a valid point, John. I wasn't aware that Arkansas had played so many close games. However, I think Texas is smarting from getting beat by Georgia, and they're going to do everything in their power to score a lot of points. Now, I think that might translate into covering that 8.5. So I'll pick them to win and cover.
Yeah, I'll pick them to win and cover. I thought it was 4.5.
I'm going to go with the no cover, but win. And I think you're right. Texas is really looking. I think Texas is in trouble. I think they're going to be sitting at home during the college football because they're going to get their ass kicked next week at Texas A&M. So.
Well, they won't sit at home. They'll go to a bowl game somewhere, but they won't be in the playoff probably, especially if they lose to A&M. If they lose to Arkansas, they definitely ain't in the playoff.
I don't think they ought. I don't think they ought to be on the playoff in any way you look at it because they got beat by Georgia by 25 points. That's and Georgia's a good team, no doubt about it. It's top in the country, one of the top in the country. But when you get beat by 25 points near the end of the season, you're not, to me, a team that should be in the college football playoffs, period. I don't care if you're 7-3 or 7-2 or whatever, but you get beat by 25 points. That says a lot about your team.
Well, it's all going to come down to these last couple of games too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If they win them both, especially if they upset A&M, they might get some consideration. But lose one of these last two games, no. They'll go to the Weed Eater Bowl or something,
Yeah.
Go to a pretty good bowl.
Go to Toilet Bowl. That's where they need to go.
No, they'll go to a good bowl.
This won't be in the playoffs.
This won't be in the playoffs. Missouri at number 11, Oklahoma. This is at 12 noon on ABC. It's at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Following Oklahoma's 23-21 win over Alabama at Bryant-Denny Stadium, the Sooners need a pair of wins over Tigers, Missouri, and next week, the LSU Tigers, to likely punch their ticket back to the college football playoff for the first time since 2019. Oklahoma 8-2, 4-2 SEC will clash with the Missouri Tigers 7-3, 3-3. Both teams enter the week riding big wins. Oklahoma snapped Alabama's 17-game home winning streak. For Missouri, it wasn't about beating Mississippi State, but how the Tigers beat Mississippi State. The Tigers built a 21-10 halftime lead, then poured it on in the second half to win 49-27. There is maybe involved because there's optimism that Missouri quarterback Bo Pribula may be able to return to action and start on Saturday, just 3 weeks after suffering a nasty ankle injury versus Vanderbilt. I don't think that would make a difference, though. Due to Pribula being rusty, just look how many weeks it took John Matier, the Oklahoma quarterback, to get back into pre-injury form. Oklahoma is at Norman, and it's going to be a tough outing for Missouri. Oklahoma for the win and to cover the 7.5 spread.
He seems to be coming back now. I think he's got his confidence up. He's when he's healthy, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and I think Oklahoma wins and covers.
I agree with both of y'all. Oklahoma wins and covers.
I've got Oklahoma to win, but not cover.
All right. Number 12, BYU at Cincinnati.
Another interesting game. Only a 2.5-point favorite are the Cougars of BYU. Both teams strong in the red zone on defense. They don't give up a lot of touchdowns inside the 20. Give up some big plays, but not so much inside the 20. A lot of people have to settle for field goals against both of these teams. BYU is very well rounded. They have a strong offense. They have a stout defense. Cincinnati tries ball control with the running game, but they struggle sometimes on the offensive line. And they also struggle a good bit with pass defense. And if they struggle with pass defense, that's kind of problematic versus BYU when they can move the ball through the air, and they have been able to move the ball through the air for a long time. And they're also, though, the one thing that may hurt the Cougars a little bit, the absence of Ben Bywater, the linebacker who has done for his career, he says, just too many injuries, too much stuff happening to him, and I think he wants to be able to walk for the rest of his life rather than play football for another game or two, and I can't really blame him. Quarterback Bear Bachmeier for BYU, 2,177 yards passing. LJ Martin has 912 yards rushing, so they're a balanced team. Chase Roberts at 702 yards receiving. For the Cougars, safety Valatar Satwala, 64 tackles. And safety Tanner Wall has 3 picks. Cincinnati, on the other hand, they have a turnover problem. Brandon Sims is 2,218 yards passing, which is not too shabby as a quarterback, but he's also got 4 picks. Tavy Walker, 652 yards rushing, not too bad, but not as good as BYU. Their wide receiver, Cyrus Allen, 572 yards receiving, again, not bad. Linebacker Jake Golden has 92. Am I reading that right? 92 tackles. Jake Golden, 92 tackles.
Yeah.
Matthew. Now here's our all-name team for the night, boys. Cornerback, and he's only got 1 interception, but he gets mentioned because his name is Matthew McDoom.
McDoom?
I love it. McDoom, like Dr. Doom, but McDoom. I think the balance of BYU wins this one, and I think covers.
I'm in agreement with you. I'm going to go with BYU in the cover.
Just a field goal and you cover. You win by 3. And that 2.5-point pick.
I'll go with the Mormons in cover. BYU cover.
I've got
Kalani Sitake is the BYU coach, in case you're interested. Scott Satterfield, Cincinnati.
Yep. I've got BYU to cover, and McDoom is that when you go through the drive-through? Dr. Doom goes through the drive-through and comes out as McDoom.
Yeah,
Just ask
maybe.
me.
Could be. Could be. If he goes to work for McDonald's, he becomes McDoom.
There you go.
That's it. Kansas State at number 13, Utah.
Well, Utah's sitting there looking in on the playoffs. Kansas State obviously has a big opportunity ahead of them. The game's at 4 p.m. on ESPN2. I got a 17.5-point spread. What does that say?
17.5.
That says 17 and a half. Yeah.
Kansas State is 5-5. In the Big 12, they're 4-3. They're coached by Chris Kleiman, and he led North Dakota State to multiple national championships before coming to Kansas State. Kansas State is led by quarterback Avery Johnson, who has 182 completions and for 2,168 yards. Rushing, Joe Jackson, 110 rushes for 476 yards, and Jace Brown, 41 receptions for 712 yards. Number 13, Utah, is led by longtime coach Kyle Whittingham. He took over for Urban Meyer, who left for the University of Florida. In his first year, Whittingham led the Utes to a bowl victory over Georgia Tech, 38-10. It's one of the biggest losses in a bowl game ever by Georgia Tech. The Utes are led by quarterback Devin Dampier with 166 completions for 1,668 yards. Utah has two backs with 102 carries. Wayshawn Parker has 738 yards, while quarterback Dampier has 543 yards. Ironically, they both have 102 carries. So you can see Dampier from the quarterback position runs a good bit. Receiving, Ryan Davis has 57 catches for 655 yards. I look for the Utes to cover this spread.
What was Kansas State? Let me see. What was their record? 5-5.
5-5.
5-5.
4-3 in the Big 12.
Well, I'm gonna go with Utah, but I don't think they're gonna cover. That's a pretty wide spread.
Yeah, it is.
How about you, Gary? What do you think?
Whatever you
Gary.
said, I didn't hear you, Gary. We've
Well,
lost your. Nope.
While we're waiting for Gary, I've got Utah to win but not cover. That is a sizable spread, I would say.
I'm back, I think. Can you hear me now?
Yep,
Yes.
more or less.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. More or less. I think Utah wins, and I think they cover. That's 3 touchdowns. I think they're 3 touchdowns better. I think they're the better team.
Kentucky at number 14, Vanderbilt.
Well, first I want to say, after listening to Dr. Glenn's analysis, I think I'm going to change my pick from Utah to win and not cover to Utah to win and cover. So, just saying.
Okay.
Kentucky at number 14, Vanderbilt. This is on at 3:30 p.m. on ESPN. ESPN Analytics gives Vanderbilt a 76% chance of winning. Our coaches are Kentucky, Mark Stoops, and Vanderbilt, Clark Lee. Vanderbilt comes in at 17th in the Football Power Index. Kentucky is down at 33rd. Kentucky has a 5-5 record and is 2-5 in the SEC. Vanderbilt has is 8-2 overall and 4-2 in the SEC. These two teams do not like each other. It is an under-the-radar interstate rivalry. Kentucky used to win these games on the regular, but not anymore. It's been a long season for the Wildcats and Mark Stoops. Always a well-coached team, but this season they fell short of success. If Vanderbilt takes care of the ball, then this will be a successful home finale for the Commodores. Vanderbilt to win, but not cover the spread.
I'm going with Vandy, and I'm going with them covered. I think they're going to run them out of the ballpark because they're playing in Nashville. That makes a difference. That's extra 7 points.
think they win and they cover.
I agree with you, Bill.
I mulled this one over. This would be a good one to pick Kentucky as an upset, but I'm going with Vanderbilt to cover. I didn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger. Vanderbilt to cover.
Number 15, Miami at Virginia Tech. All right.
Hey, I have a question, William. Kentucky at Vanderbilt. You on the form actually picked Kentucky. Are you changing that to Vanderbilt?
Yeah, change it to Vanderbilt if you can.
Yeah, no problem. Doing it right now. And cover the spread. You said they cover the spread?
Yeah, they cover the spread. I'm gonna kick myself when Kentucky wins because I thought that was falling hard.
Second guessing.
It's your first impulse picking games is usually the right one.
Except
So I'm
when you're
thinking
wrong.
Miami in this one.
Well, I think you're right. Miami rated 15 in the country, and they are 8-2 and 4-2 in the ACC, and Va-Tech is 3-7 and 2-4. I
They
think
got a
Miami
new coach.
wins this one, and I think they'll cover it.
Yeah, I think so too. Virginia Tech has a new coach.
Yeah, they do. And I am going out on the upset limb with this one, and I've got Virginia Tech to win.
Guess what? I showed back up.
Oh, awesome.
All right. Number 15 at Virginia Tech's at 12 p.m. on ESPN at Layden Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia. Number 15, Miami, 8-2, 4-2 in the ACC, picked up its second straight blowout win last week with a 41-7 demolition of North Carolina State. Carson Beck threw for 291 yards and 3 touchdowns, 2 to exhilarating freshman Malachi Toney, while freshman Gerard Pringle Jr. ran for 116 yards with lead running back Mark Fletcher still injured. The Hokies fell to 3-7, 2-4 in the ACC after last week's 34-14 loss at Florida State. Dual threat quarterback Kyrene Drones threw for 125 yards and ran for 179 with 1 touchdown each way, while Marcellus Hawkins ground out a game-high 101 yards rushing. The biggest news out of Virginia Tech, though, came off the field with the news that former Penn State coach James Franklin agreed to take over in Blacksburg next season. Miami still has a shot at the CFP with the number 7 scoring defense setting the tone with edge rushers Reuben Bain Jr. and Akeem Mesidor terrorizing opposing offenses. If Carson Beck doesn't get all shook up and start throwing lots of interceptions, this should not be much of a game. Miami to win and cover the 17.5 spread.
All right. I concur.
John?
I'm going to say this is my upset pick of the week. I've got Virginia Tech to win an upset, so Miami does not cover the spread. I think Miami plays better at home than they do on the road, and they're leaving the friendly confines of Miami, Florida, going to Blacksburg, Virginia. It's probably going to be raining at kickoff, and it's going to be cool to chilly for those guys from Miami. And so I think somehow, some way, Virginia Tech pulls off an upset. Don't ask for me for anything scientific. I just got a feeling.
Well, sometimes the feeling is all you need. Oh, we lost our
graphics.
Yeah. What the hell's that all about? We can get.
There we go.
There.
Yeah.
Damn graphics engineer. We're gonna have to have a serious talk after this broadcast.
That's right.
Come to Jesus
on the
meeting
carpet.
with him. Yeah.
Call him on the carpet, which is what they all play on now. On most of them, anyway,
That's true.
especially in high school.
Number 22, Pittsburgh at number 16, Georgia Tech.
Well, I thought we had a number of interesting games, and this is another one of these here. Pittsburgh, coached by Pat Narduzzi. Brent Key, of course, the coach of Georgia Tech. And we've been watching the Jackets for a while now. We all know that Tech's strength is the offense, particularly their quarterback, Haynes King, who is the epitome of a dual threat. Pitt has a strong defense, but King, as I said, can hurt you with his legs. He can hurt you with his arms. He can hurt you with his leadership. But Pittsburgh, the Panthers, no slouch on offense. They are in the top 12 in the country, and their defense has forced, listen to this, guys, the Pittsburgh Panther defense has forced 17 turnovers. Tech, 6. King leads Tech in passing with 2,259 yards, but he also leads them in rushing with 807. Eric Rivers, one of his key receivers, he's got 516 yards receiving. Defense is paced by Kyle Efford, the linebacker, with 66 tackles, and Omar Daniels has a pick as a DB. The Pitt Panthers are quarterbacked by a freshman, a true freshman, quarterback Mason Heitschel. He's thrown for 1,673 yards, not in King's neighborhood, but not too shabby. The rush is led by running back Jacarian Turner with 414 yards. Receivers, Kenny Johnson, he's a wide out. He's got 600 yards receiving. The defense, Rasheem Biles with 61 tackles and linebacker. Biles is at linebacker. And the defensive end, Javier Baines Marquez. Let me say that again. Javier Baines Marquez has got a couple of interceptions as a defensive back. I said defensive end, but he's a defensive back. The thing about Pittsburgh is they score a lot of points. They're averaging over 37 a game. And their run defense is stout. They only give up about a little over 90 yards a game. Tech is only favored by 2.5. I think they cover that if King has a good game. And Tech has to tighten up, and they have to play some defense. They give up a lot of yards on defense, 560 yards in the last couple of games, and they've got to put pressure on Heitschel. So over the last couple of games, I said they gave up 560 yards. Yeah, so they've got to tighten up their run defense a little bit, and they definitely have to give Haynes some time to throw it when he drops in the pocket. But Haynes has got that RPO stuff down pat. Like I said, over 2,000 yards passing and 800 and something yards rushing. So I think Tech wins, but barely. I think they'll cover that, though, 2.5.
The only reason that I'm picking Tech is they're playing at Grant Field. If they were Pittsburgh, I would go to Pittsburgh.
Now, I think you might be right there, but they are playing at Grant Field. So
So
which, by the
I'm
way,
gonna-
there's nowhere in the world colder when it's cold or hotter when it's hot at Grant Field. I've been there both times. Ugh, brutal.
I'm going with Tech and to cover.
I think that's what I picked, but I thought long and hard on Pittsburgh. I don't think I picked Pittsburgh, but I believe I went with Tech to cover. But look for, if you want to, look for an upset.
William, you picked Pittsburgh to
Well,
win.
I knew I'd done that. Let's stay with it.
Okay.
I want Tech to win because I don't want them in a bad mood when they play Georgia next week.
Yeah, that's a danger. They're dangerous when they play Georgia. We saw that last year. All those overtimes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And this is like a Friday afternoon game, isn't it? Isn't
Yes,
Pittsburgh
sir.
and Tech a Friday afternoon game?
Pretty sure
Or is
it's we don't have any this week that
no,
are
it's
Friday
Tech and
afternoon.
Tech and Georgia is going to be Friday afternoon. That's right. I'm looking
Friday
a week
is-
ahead.
Friday, you got FSU playing North Carolina State and Hawaii playing UNLV. That's the only games on Friday this week.
Yeah, so it's Tech and Georgia Friday of the next week, and it's like a 3:30 game. Maybe I'll try to stay away from the high schools. I'll have that, but Tech can't continue to give up all those yards and win this one because Pittsburgh's too good. They're gonna have to tighten up.
Yeah, I have Georgia Tech to win and cover.
Louisville at SMU.
So number 20, Louisville at SMU, 12 p.m. on ESPN2. ESPN Analytics gives SMU a 68% chance of winning. Our coaches for Louisville, Jeff Brome, and SMU, Rhett Lashley. Louisville comes in at 36 in the Football Power Index. SMU is a little bit ahead at 25. SMU's 7-3 overall and 5-1 in the ACC. Louisville is 7-3 overall and 4-3 in the SEC. SMU's tied for third in the ACC. If they can beat Louisville and get a couple of breaks, kind of a long shot, they could be in line to play in the ACC championship. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not, but it's a great motivator for the Mustangs. Their quarterback, by the way, is coming up on 3,000 passing yards this season. Because SMU is at home, they win and cover the spread, and they only need to win by a field goal to do it.
I agree with you, John. I think if they were not at home, we might go the other way on that one. But I think that's what the odds makers are thinking too. It's worth at least 3.5 points. Play at home.
Yeah, I'll go with SMU to cover.
Y'all all going SMU?
Yep.
I'm going with Louisville.
Bill is out on the upset branch again.
Yes, indeedy.
Got to
It's not
have
much
one.
of an upset. Louisville's pretty good.
Not much in one.
No, I think Louisville will be in a bad mood, and that's what I'm looking for. Wait a minute. Tennessee and Florida should be next, and there's not a slide for them.
Who's got Tennessee and Florida?
That would be me.
All right,
Oh, go ahead, John. I'll tell you right now that 23 is ranked. Tennessee's ranked 23rd, and they're playing at Florida. Tennessee is 7-3, and 3-3 in the SEC. Florida's 2-5 and 3-7.
All right. ESPN Analytics gives Tennessee a 65% chance of winning. Our coaches for Tennessee, Josh Heupel, and Florida, coached by interim coach Billy Gonzalez. Who knows who is going to be the head coach at Florida? Tennessee comes in at 16th in the Football Power Index. Florida comes in at 34. Florida has had a difficult year. They played one of the hardest schedules in the SEC. The Gators played well enough to beat Texas and Mississippi State. They're coming off a loss to Ole Miss last weekend. Tennessee has a really productive offense, second in the FBS. If they can minimize mistakes, they should beat Florida, even though it's Saturday night in the Swamp. I've got Tennessee to win and cover the spread.
Spread, by the way, 3.5. Well, I don't know if we threw that in or not, but I agree with you, John. I think
4.5.
Volunteers. Is it 4.5 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's now 4.5.
I still think they cover that. I think
I do
Tennessee
too.
is playing for a good bowl.
I don't remember who I picked. I don't even remember it being on there. I'll take Tennessee though to cover.
That is exactly as you picked it, William.
All right, good.
I just got word that our graphics guy apologized to me, said that he has not been feeling well this week, and it was decent of him even to be here, although he's probably so sick he won't get out of bed tomorrow. But that's what's wrong. That's what's going on with the graphics tonight.
Well, I'll tell you. Well, we'll cut him some slack over that. Yep.
Duke at North Carolina. 3:30 p.m. on the Atlantic Coast Conference Network, which means it's not a very good game. Keenan Memorial Stadium at Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Well, this sounds like a great basketball game, doesn't it? Well,
Yeah, it does.
But Duke has predicted a 75.6% chance to win the ball game, so maybe not. The two longtime rivals will meet for their 112th contest in the battle for the Victory Bell. North Carolina leads the season series 66-41-4. Though Duke broke a 5-game losing streak with a 21-20 victory last year in Durham. Since 1990, UNC has dropped only 7 matchups to Duke, posting a 28-7 record in the last 35 meetings. The Tar Heels are struggling to reach bowl eligibility at 4-6 overall and 2-4 in the ACC. After a 28-12 loss at Wake Forest, putting their postseason hopes at a big risk. Now, meanwhile, Duke, now 5-5 overall, 4-2 in the conference, dropped its second straight last week in a 34-17 defeat at Virginia, and is also seeking to solidify bowl eligibility with another win. North Carolina's offense sputtered in a 28-12 loss at Wake Forest, finishing with just 257 total yards and failing to find the end zone for the first time since 2016. Duke suffered a 34-17 loss to Virginia last week, marking the Blue Devils' second consecutive defeat since their win over Clemson on November 1st. The Blue Devils were outgained 540 to 255 yards, and standout quarterback Darian Messina was limited to 213 passing yards and 1 touchdown. Things are not looking good for North Carolina's savior/coach, and he seems to make a lot of questionable calls on the field. He might need to look back to the NFL or to retire completely. Duke for the win and to cover easily is 6.5 spread.
Yeah, unless Brady's got any eligibility left, which I don't think he does. Duke wins and covers.
I think I picked North Carolina in an upset. I'm going to stick with it. North Carolina in an upset. Is that right, John?
Yeah, I can confirm, William. You picked North Carolina, and I'm going with Duke to cover the spread. I think it's just a coin toss every weekend with the Bill Belichick experiment. And so I think Duke is going to take advantage of that.
Well, you got my opinion on Belichick. That's what I think he ought to be doing.
I'll stick with North Carolina.
Let's take another quick commercial and I come back for our summarization. Wait a minute. Let's not do that. Let's keep going. I got another slide for you.
All right, there we go.
our picks each week. Told you the graphics guy is out of it tonight. Picks each week. Oh my God. We got Gary's at 83.
William.
Everybody's at 83 except William's at 92. And
Yeah, William got them all but one last week.
Way to go, William. And our pick season total, we're pretty neck and neck here with 2 at 82, me at the bottom at 81. I'm creeping up here, guys. And William is out in the front at 84%. And announcing a new slide and new graphic that we do have for the show. Picks season total, it's ESPN versus Intelligent Ramblings.
I like
And
this graphic.
and look at that. Oh my God. We're just kicking the crap out of ESPN. They're not even in our league when it comes to picks.
A quick note about this. So we included the scores, the picks from Desmond Howard, Nick Saban, and Kirk Herbstreit. I chose not to include that, what's his name, McAfee dude.
Yeah.
What a goober. I mean, I went with the most sensible 3 ESPN guys.
Well, that kind of Herbstreit's the only one of the bunch I pick any difference to. I quit listening to Desmond Howard a long time ago when 2 years ago he predicted Tennessee to beat Georgia. And so did Herbstreit as far as that goes, but I haven't forgot about it. I got the recording. I sent it to ESPN several times about how stupid their picks were. But great job on the graphics, John. We appreciate it.
Well,
Yes.
same to you. And I think ESPN, some of their picks might be kind of scripted, just for entertainment value, because they've got all the guys sitting at the desk and they can, put up the team logo. And unfortunately, we don't have Coach Corso to, put on his headgear at the end of the picks every week. That is sorely missed. And
Not at our budget either.
yeah.
All right. And cover the spread. Wow. Damn, Glenn. Bottomed out on this one. 25%. William at 58. John was at, is that 33%?
33%.
Whoa, you beat my, well, you tied my worst. Anyway, I'm sitting there at 58% along with William.
I want to note something I saw in the picks this week. It's the patented Gary Glenn pattern picking for spreads, and I'm really interested to see the results. If it works well, then Coach Glenn may be on to something when it comes to picking the spread.
I know what he's
Yo,
on to.
we'll see.
25%.
No, I wasn't on last week, that's for sure.
Well,
Of course, when Georgia poured it on and Alabama got beat,
yeah.
I mean, that didn't help.
And
they had a couple
here's our
others.
cover the spread season total. William leading the pack once again. And Gary and John right behind him at 56. And me pulling up the rear at 53. Want to read something real fast. Hitting 53% puts you just over this critical break-even threshold, meaning you would be slightly profitable over a large sample of bets. Professional standard, the difference between an average bettor and a professional is often very small. Professional sports bettors rarely sustain a long-term winning percentage higher than 55%, and is often in the range of 53 to 54% difficulty. Achieving a 53% win rate consistently is challenging because odds makers set lines that will be maximally efficient, making it difficult for these average bettor to pick winners more than half the time. the general public often falls victim to the juice and ends up losing over time. In summary, a 53% win rate is a strong performance and indicates that you are a skillful bettor, outperforming the majority of the betting public. So, with that said, maybe at the end, I'm still skillful and I'd still make money. So, I bet
Not that we encourage you to bet.
No, we're not encouraging betting at all. I don't bet at all. Never have. And I think that's the end of it. Now we'll actually take a second commercial and we'll be back for our summarization. Well, this is the second round of the Georgia State high school playoffs this weekend.
Yep.
Jefferson's playing Dougherty. Am I right?
Dougherty.
No, they're playing Harlem.
They're playing. I thought they were. What happened to
They played
Dougherty?
Dougherty last week.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they beat them. Yeah, they beat Dougherty. Yeah, in
That's
Harlem.
right.
So, and the other Northeast Georgia team we got, North Hall, is playing LaGrange. That one might be pretty good.
I see where Jefferson's going up to 5A next year.
Right.
They're no
Yeah.
new region.
Isn't that incredible?
5A. Yeah, that's nuts.
5A. Who'd have thunk that?
Y'all remember when we were just barely not a B in the B region?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were B for a while, and then everybody didn't want to be a B or a C. They used to have A, B, and C, but nobody wanted to be B's and C's, so they made it AAA, AA, and single A, and then they went all the way up to 7A, and they're trying to get a handle on all of that, and we'll see how it works out. I saw that Gainesville successfully petitioned to get moved, not out of that classification, but into another region where some of the games will be closer to home. That's good. I don't know what they think when they put some of these regions together that go from, that are 100 miles for a trip or something almost crazy like that. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know what they think about that. It must be like gerrymandering in politics.
Yeah. Well,
I think-
some schools trying to set themselves up.
Oh, God forbid there should be politics in high school athletics. We all know that doesn't happen, right?
No. None. Never. Well, good luck to the Dragons.
Go Dragons.
And hopefully we'll get to see them go for the next level. Well, gentlemen, very nice show tonight. I appreciate everybody being here. We appreciate people that watch us even when we're not live and watch us on YouTube or Facebook. Please join our Facebook group. Just search at Intelligent Ramblings and it'll take you to our Facebook page and our Facebook group, which is Intelligent Ramblings Friends. And then again, check us out on YouTube and LinkedIn. And I guess we're on a couple of others. But basically what you got to do is put at Intelligent Ramblings in Google search and it'll take it everywhere. Hope everybody enjoyed the show and we will see y'all next week.
Thank you, everyone.
Good luck with your
Go
picks.
on, everybody. Good night.
Night.